the last class of basic electrical engineering, and we are going to do the numerical examples of magnetic circuit in this class. Okay guys, so let us do the first numerical example, which is related to the magnetic circuit, and this is example number 7.1. Consider the simple magnetic circuit as shown in figure number 7.6. Mean length, cross-sectional area and permeability of the rectangular ring material are 2 meter. So the length of the material of the rectangular ring is 2 meter. Cross-sectional area of this material is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability is 16,000. The current in the coil of 1000 turn is 4 ampere. So N in this particular case is 1000 and the current in the coil is 4 ampere. Determine the magnetic flux in the circuit. So you see the data is given in this numerical example. We are going to consider the figure which is figure number 7.6, and we need to calculate the magnetic flux in this figure. So here is the rectangular ring. You see we have got a rectangular ring over here, and this is a coil of 1000 turns, and this coil of 1000 turns carries a current of 4 ampere. So whenever there is a current in the coil, the current in the coil will generate magnetic flux, and this ring provides a path of low reluctance to the flow of magnetic flux. So according to right hand rule, the flux in this circuit, the flux in this rectangular ring will circulate in the clockwise direction. So the magnetic flux will circulate in this simple circuit in the clockwise direction. This is in accordance with right hand rule, and we need to calculate the magnetic flux which circulates in the clockwise direction in this rectangular ring. Let us consider the equivalent circuit. This is, you see, the equivalent circuit of the given magnetic circuit. MMF, which is basically equal to Ni, is represented by this particular source, where N represents the number of turns of the coil and I represents the current in the coil. So the current in the coil, or this MMF, will generate magnetic flux in this simple magnetic circuit. The magnetic flux is represented by phi Weber, and we know that this magnetic flux is analogous to current in the electrical circuit. So this magnetic flux will circulate in this simple magnetic circuit, and the reluctance of this material is represented by R, and we know that the reluctance of this material depends upon the length of this material, which is basically the mean length, the permeability of this material, and the cross-sectional area of this material. And all these parameters are given to you guys in this numerical example, so you guys can calculate the reluctance of this magnetic circuit. So let us consider the information which are given in this numerical example. Here is the mean length of the material of the magnetic circuit, which is 2 meter. Here is the cross-sectional area of the material of the rectangular ring, which is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter. This is the permeability of the material of the magnetic circuit, which is 16,000. the number of turns of the coil, is given to you guys, which is 1000 turn, and the current in the coil is 4 ampere. We use this particular equation to calculate the reluctance of the magnetic material of the magnetic circuit. We use this equation to calculate the reluctance of the magnetic material. So we put the values in this particular equation. The mean length of the material is 2. The permeability of this material is 16,000, and the cross-sectional area is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 4. So if we simplify this equation, we get the reluctance of the magnetic material of this simple magnetic circuit, which is 248.8 into 10 raised to power 3, and the unit of the reluctance is ampere turns per Weber. So let me explain the unit of the reluctance to you guys. You see, MMF, which is basically the magnetomotive force. This magnetomotive force is responsible to generate the magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit. We know that it is equal to phi r. Okay, so MMF is equal to phi r, where r is the reluctance of the magnetic circuit. We know that MMF is Ni, so the unit of this MMF is ampere turn, and the unit of the magnetic flux is Weber. So you guys can calculate the unit of reluctance from this particular equation. You see, the unit of the reluctance will be equal to ampere turn per Weber. So this is how we calculate the unit of the reluctance of the magnetic circuit. Now we know that MMF is equal to Ni. MMF is equal to Ni, so N is known, which is 1000, I is known, which is 4. So MMF of this particular circuit will be equal to 4000 ampere turn. And we know that MMF is basically equal to phi r. So MMF is known in this particular equation, which is 4000 ampere turn. We have already calculated the reluctance of this magnetic circuit, which is 248.8 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turn per Weber. So we can calculate the magnetic flux from this equation. The magnetic flux will be equal to the MMF over reluctance. So the magnetic flux in this simple magnetic circuit is equal to MMF over the reluctance of the magnetic circuit. We put the values in this particular equation. You see, the MMF is 4000, and the reluctance of the circuit is 248.8 into 10 raised to power 3. So if we put the values in this equation, and if we simplify this equation, the magnetic flux turns out to be 0.16 Weber. So this numerical example was related to a simple magnetic circuit. Let us do a series magnetic circuit. So we have been given a series magnetic circuit in example number 7.2. Consider the series magnetic circuit that comprises two material. You see, material number 1, this is material number 1, and here is material number 2, and these two materials are in series in this magnetic circuit. As shown in figure 7.11, if the current in the coil of 1000 turn is 2 ampere, so N in this particular case is 1000, and the current in the coil is 2 ampere, right? So the current in the coil of 1000 turn is 2 ampere. Determine the flux in the circuit. The characteristics of the two materials are given as under. So in this series magnetic circuit, we have been given two magnetic materials, magnetic material number 1, and we have magnetic material number 2. So this is magnetic material number 2, and here is magnetic material number 1. So these two materials are in series. We have placed a coil of n number of turns on the first material. There is a current of I ampere in this coil. The current in the coil will generate magnetic flux, and if we apply the right hand rule, the magnetic flux will circulate in the clockwise direction in this particular magnetic circuit. So we need to calculate, you see, the reluctance of magnetic material 1, the reluctance of magnetic material 2, the total MMF in this magnetic circuit, and then we can calculate the magnetic flux in this magnetic circuit. So let us consider the characteristics of material number 1. Well, first of all, we consider the equivalent circuit of the given series magnetic circuit. R1 represents the reluctance of material number 1, R2 represents the reluctance of material number 2, and you see these two materials are in series. The MMF, which is basically the source for generation of the magnetic flux in this particular circuit, is represented with the help of this particular circle, and we know that MMF will be equal to Ni. So due to this MMF, the magnetic flux will circulate either in the clockwise direction or in the counterclockwise direction in this series magnetic circuit. The magnetic flux in this series circuit circulates in the clockwise direction, and we need to find out the magnetic flux of this series magnetic circuit. This is a series magnetic circuit. We are going to consider the characteristics of material 1 and material 2. So mean length of the material is represented by L1, which is 2 meter. The cross-sectional area of the first material is represented by A1, which is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability of the first material is mu1, which is equal to 16,000. So we have already calculated the reluctance of this material in the first numerical question. Let us calculate the reluctance of the first magnetic material of this series magnetic circuit with the help of this particular equation. We know that the reluctance will be equal to L1 over mu1 A1. Well, we know that reluctance in a magnetic circuit is analogous to the resistance of the electrical circuit, and you know that the resistance of the conductor depends upon the material of the conductor. Basically, well, it depends upon the material of the conductor, it depends upon the length of the conductor, and it depends upon the cross-sectional area of the conductor. So the resistance of a conductor is basically equal to L divided by it depends upon rho L divided by A, where rho is the resistivity of the conductor, L represents the length of the conductor, and A represents the cross-sectional area of the conductor. And we know that resistance is analogous to reluctance. Resistance in an electrical circuit opposes the electrical current, while reluctance in a magnetic circuit opposes the flow of magnetic flux. So let us consider material number 2, which is in series with material number 1. The mean length of this material is represented by L2, which is 1 meter. The cross-sectional area of this material number 2 is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability of this material is 1600 meter. So we calculate the reluctance of the second material of this series magnetic circuit with the help of this equation. We have already discussed this equation in the theoretical class. So if we put the values on the right hand side of this equation, we obtain 124.4 into 10 raised to power 4 ampere turn per Weber. So this is the reluctance of the reluctance of the second material of the series magnetic circuit. Well, the number of turns is the number of turns of the coil is given to you guys, which is 1000, and the current the current in the coil is 2 ampere. The total reluctance of this series magnetic circuit will be equal to R1 plus R2, and the total reluctance of this series magnetic circuit is R1 plus R2, which is 149.28 into 10 raised to power 4 ampere turn per Weber. We calculate the magnetic flux with the help of this equation. The magnetic, not the magnetic flux, the magnetic motive force. We calculate MMF with the help of this particular equation. We know that MMF in a magnetic circuit generates the magnetic flux, and this magnetic flux flows in the magnetic circuit. The magnetic circuit provides a path of low reluctance to the magnetic flux as compared to air. We know that the reluctance of the air will be greater than the reluctance of the material of the magnetic circuit. So definitely the flux will follow a path of low reluctance. So the flux will not flow in the air, because the reluctance of the air will be greater than the total reluctance of the series magnetic circuit. So this series magnetic circuit provides a path of low reluctance to the flow of magnetic flux as compared to air. So as this is a series circuit, and let us consider the circuit once again. This is a series magnetic circuit, and we know that a series magnetic circuit is analogous to electrical circuit. In an electrical circuit, Vs will be equal to I into R1 plus R2. If we consider two resistors in the series circuit, then Vs will be equal to I into R1 plus R2. We know that voltage in the electrical circuit is analogous to MMF. So MMF in this series magnetic circuit is analogous to the voltage. The magnetic flux is analogous to the current. R1 is analogous to the reluctance of the first material, and R2 is analogous to the reluctance of the second material. So we have already calculated MMF, we have already calculated the total reluctance of this magnetic circuit. So we can calculate the total magnetic flux in this series magnetic circuit with the help of this particular equation. So let us consider this equation over here. You see the MMF in this particular circuit will be equal to phi into R1 plus R2, and phi will be equal to MMF over R1 plus R2. We have already calculated MMF, which is 2000 ampere. We have already calculated R1 plus R2, which is 149.28 into 10 raised to power 4. So we put the values in the last equation of this particular slide, and we obtain the magnetic flux. We know that MMF is 2000 ampere turns, and the total reluctance of the circuit is 149.28 into 10 raised to power 4 ampere turn per Weber. So if we simplify this equation, the magnetic flux in this series magnetic circuit turns out to be 1.33 milliweber. So this was a simple numerical example on the series magnetic circuit. Let us consider a parallel magnetic circuit. So example number 7.3 gives you a parallel magnetic circuit. Consider this parallel magnetic circuit, which is given in figure number 7.16. The coil is placed on the left limb of this magnetic circuit. So you see here is the left limb of this magnetic circuit. This is the left limb of the magnetic circuit, and you see the coil of n number of turns is placed on this left limb. Then the central limb of this magnetic circuit is located over here. I show it with the help of, you see, this green color. So this is the central limb of the parallel magnetic circuit, and then the right limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is represented with the help of this red color. So you see, if you look at this magnetic circuit, this left limb is represented by 1, the central limb is represented by 2, and the right limb is represented by 3. So this is a parallel magnetic circuit. Determine the current in the coil of 50 turns. So N in this particular case is 50 to produce the magnetic flux of 1.4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber in the right limb. So basically phi 2 is given to you guys. Here is the right limb. We know that the magnetic flux in the right limb is phi 2, and phi 2 is given to you guys, which is 1.4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber. The characteristics of the two materials are given as under. So basically the characteristics of the three materials, these two should be replaced by 3 are given. So you see the total magnetic flux in this particular circuit is phi Weber. This magnetic flux is generated by the current in the coil. Here is the node of the circuit. The total magnetic flux divides into 2 parts at the node. The magnetic flux in the central limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is phi 1 Weber, and the magnetic flux in the right limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is phi 2 Weber. So phi 2 is given to you guys. We consider the equivalent circuit of the given parallel magnetic circuit. You see MMF, which is basically equal to Ni, is represented with the help of this particular source. R1 represents the reluctance of the left limb of the parallel magnetic circuit. R2 represents the reluctance of the central limb, and R3 represents the reluctance of the right limb. So you see, these are the characteristics. You see, we have the total magnetic flux in the circuit, and the total magnetic flux divides into 2 parts at the given nodes. Phi 1 is the magnetic flux in the central limb, and phi 2 is the magnetic flux in the right limb. So let us consider the characteristics of the left limb of this magnetic circuit. So the mean length of the left limb is 0.2 meter. The cross-sectional area of the left limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is 6 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability of the left limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is 6.24 into 10 raised to power minus 2. So we can calculate the reluctance of the left limb of this magnetic circuit. We will calculate it later on. So let us consider the mean length of the central limb. The mean length of the central limb is 0.05 meter. The cross-sectional area of the central limb is 6 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability of the central limb of this parallel magnetic circuit is 6.25 into 10 raised to power minus 3. We consider the characteristics of the right limb. So the mean length of the right limb is 0.2 meter. The cross-sectional area of the right limb is 6 into 10 raised to power minus 4 square meter, and the permeability of the right limb is 3.05 into 10 raised to power minus 2, I think, right? This is minus 2. Okay. So let us calculate the reluctance of the first material, reluctance of the second material, and reluctance of the third material. We have placed a coil of 50 turns on the left limb of this parallel circuit, and the current in this coil is unknown. We need to calculate this current. We will calculate this particular current, and the current in the coil generates a magnetic flux of 1.4 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber in the right limb of this parallel magnetic circuit. So what we do, we calculate the reluctance of the first material of the parallel magnetic circuit with the help of this equation. If we put the values on the right hand side of R1, we obtain the reluctance of the left limb of this parallel magnetic circuit, that is 53.33 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turns per Weber. We calculate the reluctance of the central limb of this parallel magnetic circuit with the help of this equation. If we put the values on the right hand side of this R2, we get 13.33 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turn per Weber, which is the reluctance of the central limb. And finally, we calculate the reluctance of the right limb of this parallel magnetic circuit with the help of this equation. If we put the values on the right hand side, we obtain 109.28 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turns per Weber. Okay, so phi 2 is known and phi 1 is unknown. What we do, we apply a law which is analogous to KVL to loop number 2. So we apply a law which is analogous to KVL to loop number 2, and according to this law, MMF2, which is analogous to V2, MMF2 in loop number 2 will be equal to MMF3. So MMF2 will be equal to MMF3. What we do, we apply a law that is analogous to KVL to loop number 2. MMF2 is analogous to V2, MMF2 is analogous to V2, and MMF3 is analogous to V3. So MMF2 will be equal to MMF3. Well, if you look at this particular circuit, MMF2 will be equal to phi 1 MMF2 will be equal to phi 1 R2, and MMF3 will be equal to phi 2 into R3. If you focus on this particular equation, phi 2 is known. We have already calculated R3. We have already calculated R2. So we can calculate phi 1 from this particular equation. So let us consider this equation in its proper slide. Okay, this is the proper slide. We apply a law which is analogous to KVL to loop number 2. So according to this law, MMF2 will be equal to MMF3. And we know that MMF2 is basically equal to phi 1 R2 and MMF3 is equal to phi 2 R3. So we simplify this equation for phi 1. So phi 1 will be equal to phi 2 R3 over R2. So we put the values on the right hand side of this particular equation. You see phi 2 is known, which is 1.4 into 10 raised to power minus 4. R3 is known, which is 109.28 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turn per Weber. And R2 is known, which is 13.33 into 10 raised to power 3 ampere turns per Weber. So we simplify this equation and we find the magnetic flux in the central limb of this parallel magnetic circuit. The magnetic flux in the central limb of this parallel magnetic circuit turns out to be 12.29 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber. Let us consider the circuit once again. So we consider the circuit over here. And we consider the only node of this magnetic circuit. And we apply a law to this node, which is analogous to KCL. You see, the total magnetic flux is analogous to the total current in an equivalent electrical circuit. Phi 1 is analogous to I1, and phi 2 is analogous to I2. So if we apply a law to this node, which is analogous to KCL, the total magnetic flux which flows towards the node will be equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. Phi 1 is moving away from the node and phi 2 is moving away from the node as well. So we can calculate the total magnetic flux with the help of this particular equation. So let us calculate the total magnetic flux in this parallel magnetic circuit. Why? Because we know phi 1 and we know phi 2. So we know that the total magnetic flux will be equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. We put the values on the right hand side of this equation and we get 13.79 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber. This is the total magnetic flux in this parallel magnetic circuit. We know that MMF in this parallel magnetic circuit will be equal to Ni. So let us consider the first loop of this parallel magnetic circuit. We consider the equivalent circuit over here and we consider the first loop and we apply a law to this loop which is analogous to KVL. We know that MMF is analogous to voltage and flux is analogous to current. So we apply a law to this loop which is analogous to KVL. We know that the total voltage in an equivalent electrical circuit will be equal to V1 plus V2. So the total MMF in this loop will be equal to MMF1. It will be equal to MMF1 plus MMF2. So MMF, the total MMF in this loop will be equal to MMF1 plus MMF2. You see, if you consider an equivalent electrical circuit, the sum of the voltage rise in this loop will be equal to V1 plus V2. So these two equations are analogous. Anyhow, we know that MMF is basically equal to Ni. The number of turns of the coil is known, which is 50, but the current in the coil is unknown. We need to calculate it with the help of this particular equation. MMF1 will be equal to phi R1. You see the magnetic flux in R1 is phi. And MMF2 will be equal to phi 1 R2. Everything on the right hand side is known. We can calculate the unknown current with the help of this particular equation. So we apply a law which is analogous to KVL to loop number 2. So according to this law, MMF will be equal to MMF1 plus MMF2. MMF is equal to Ni. MMF1 is equal to phi R1 and MMF2 is equal to phi 1 R2. We put the values on the right, we put the values in this particular equation. So on the left hand side we get 50I. The magnetic flux, the total magnetic flux is 13.79 into 10 raised to power minus 4. R1 is 53.33 into 10 raised to power 3 plus phi 1 is 12.29 into 10 raised to power minus 4, and R2 is 13.33 into 10 raised to power 3. So finally we obtain this particular equation and we can calculate the current of the coil with the help of the second last equation, which is 1.8 ampere. So let me give you the homework. We studied the single phase AC transformer in the magnetic circuit. So please do a few simple numerical example on the transformer from any book. Thank you so much. God bless you.